In this video, I'm going to show you how you can book 100 appointments per month and how our process work, how you can copy that process and how you use tools and resources to achieve this goal. The main goal for us on top of funnel is actually content, and we are actually in the content business. So previously people used to run ads and also send traffic from different sources. And now we understand that we are in a trust recession. Previously, I was going through my client journey and I found out that people after watching my content, they go to Google to actually find out if we are legit or not. And this is how the concept is actually building up, because there are a lot of information and misinformation, and you need to be authentic and genuine. And to build that authenticity, you need to have a brain and authority over what you do. And so that authority actually comes from attention, and attention generation is the core of what you do in client acquisition. And that can only be achieved through a sustainable way, which is content marketing. Now, content marketing is not optional, it is necessary now. Ads and all the paid acquisition channels are now secondary. What we do is we utilizing content as a primary source. This is our primary business. We are in the content business. And then we run ads and paid acquisition to support this content marketing. And how it looks like is really simple. You have content that you build for social media or for YouTube, and then you have like content built for X or other platforms. But there are main two types. We have the written content, then we have the video content, and also the shorts, right? But that comes in a video format. So the more focused, like 70% of your focus should be on a video format content. And again, in that 50% focus should be on long form, and then 50% on the short form content. So short form actually gives you virality, while long form gives you the credibility and also the opportunity to actually show your thoughts and express what you do to your clients so they can judge on themselves what they can do for you. And then we have direct outreach, right? We have DMs and emails, the main two sources. And then we have webinars, obviously. Some of you guys will be doing, or some want to if they're not at that level. And then we have word of mouth, which is an evergreen way of client acquisition. But the flow to understand here is simple. What you need to do is any type of content that you're doing, it depends on the frequency of how much you're doing it, right? So if, for example, you are creating one piece of content per day, and that is just post, you need to double down on creating videos. So the frequency of content is directly proportional to the number of inquiries you're getting, right? And by this, I mean that you shouldn't be just putting out content to the dark. You should have to have a proper mechanism. And by this, I mean that you should have lead magnets. And lead magnet is anything of value. You understand that, of which the client can solve a smaller problem on. And so if you're solving a smaller problem for client, in the previous video, we have talked about how you can have an unlimited return on the lead magnet if you're solving a smaller problem that actually creates a new problem for a client. So traffic that comes from all the social media content, the YouTube, and also different sources from direct DMs have to pass through the lead magnet. So what you need to do is you should have a lead magnet link in your bio. You should have the lead magnet link everywhere, right? And so what happens is, for example, if I'm making this video and I have a lead magnet link below in the description, you click on that, you check that out, and what you will see is this page. If you can see here. Yeah, so this is the page that is obviously on a white screen, but this is the page that we use as a lead magnet. It has all our systems, right, that we give to our clients. And we understand that if, for example, I provide the systems to you and I have all the people that talk about the system, how great they are. And so if these systems actually provide you the value, then what happens is you have a reciprocity bias, and you really want to find out more about me and check in my emails and find out what value am I providing. And so this basic instinct in psychology, it leads you to watch more of my content and ultimately get my main offer. And so this is the approach that you need to take. So lead magnet is anything that you can provide for free to solve a smaller problem for your client that can lead to achieving and getting them as a client. So the nature of traffic that you should be sending to your lead magnet is cold traffic, right? So there are different types of traffic. We have like three main one. One is cold, warm, and then hot traffic. But cold traffic are the people who don't know about your service, right? So they're just random people on the internet. They haven't heard about you. They're just wandering around, but they have the potential, and it's an opportunity for you to acquire them as clients. Obviously, there are different competitors of yours, but if your messaging is strong and you have strong lead magnet, you will acquire them. Now, Those are cold people, and what you need to do is you need to provide them value to solve their problems. And as I explained, this is the way to move forward. And once, for example, you have directed the traffic to the lead magnet, your goal only is to get their emails, which is the opt-in. And so once you get their email, then the actual game starts. How you have to send the people to the CRM. And CRM is, for example, if you're using Go High Level or other CRM, normally in Go High Level, I'll show you in a while the workflows is how you have set the workflows on the backend. If you got the email, now you have to have your VA or your setter reach out to the person within 10 minutes. This is really important. So within 10 minutes, if, for example, they reach out, there's a warm lead, the conversation goes on, and the VA provide the lead magnet or also start a conversation with the person to actually qualify them for a call. If they're not qualified, you leave them there, because for us, it's not about the number. 100 appointments is qualified appointments, right? We can do 200 appointments, but the number is not that important. You have to have established concepts like MQL and SQL, which is like a market qualified lead. And what happens in the qualified lead is you have to have a proper filtration mechanism. And by filtration, I mean that you should be qualifying them based on the budget, what niche they are, how much capacity do you have, how much they are able to invest in your businesses. So if you don't know beforehand those parameters, or if the person hasn't watched your content, they're not qualified. So you shouldn't be talking to them and you shouldn't be wasting yours and your team time. So set a reach out after the person is booked for the meeting. And then we have a nurturing flow, which is the email flow, right? So we have already built an email flow for over like a month for a person that comes in. And so for cold traffic, we have a different workflow than a warm traffic, right? Cold traffic, we are sending them to the lead magnet page because they haven't heard about us, and we really want to give them value, the maximum value, because that's the first time they've experienced with us. So they need to get more value. That's why we are sending them to the lead magnet page. But for warm traffic, people who have already bought the lead magnet, then the goal becomes to reach them to a new page, which we call the VSL or the case study page. You might have seen my case study page. You can check that out. The link would be in the description to actually know how we use that case study as a leverage to book meetings and close our clients. But that case study is a kind of different case study where I explain our process. That's like a process selling VSL. Normally, you can follow that. You can copy that template if you want. You can just reach out to us, our team on LinkedIn, and we'll provide that to you. And then from there, the two sources from the team and also from the flow, people book the meeting and then you fire the sequence. And so from these sources, people book the meeting and then you have a show up sequence that you fire actually to nurture them further. But the flow looks like this. You have a number of content pieces. The more content you're putting out, the more chances of weaving them and the more number of lead magnets that you'll be sending. So you'll have more conversation and more opt-ins, and which will turn gets you more appointment. So this is the simplest flow. You can't neglect personal branding and content in this. And in the later stage, for example, if you want to start it and if you want to scale it further, like this is a workflow that will easily make you like $30,000 to $40,000. We are applying the same principles in our client businesses. So we build out content for them. That's like a whole structure. And then we have a backend infrastructure that I'll talk about in some videos next time, where we are actually talking about the tools that we're using. So this concept is really essential. And once you're reaching, to 30K or 40K per month, then you can introduce ads to this workflow. And what happens in ads is we are not just inventing anything out of the blue. We are actually utilizing the existing pieces of content that we have. For instance, we have a great YouTube video that got views. And so what we do is we just boost that specific video. And that's just a kind of content because we know that this video was liked by these much people, and it is a sign that it must be liked by more people. And so that actually gives us a signal something is working or not working. And that drives the traffic to our lead magnet. And again, we get more opt-ins and more booking. So I hope you get this concept. And it's more about the volume, the frequency of content or the frequency of ads and traffic that you're sending to your lead magnet. For our case, I also give you a number so you actually don't say that it's just a broader theory. So what we do normally for our clients is we send like a 500 DMs, and then we have a 1K email per day limit. So that's a volume that we set per day, which is a specific volume which gives us like a 20 to 25% reply rate, which is for most, it will be high because we are utilizing a message. The strength of our offer is actually the message that we prepare. So we have offers that we build based on solid data, and we have tested offers that actually worked previously. And then if, for example, a new client comes and we utilize existing data and find out something is working or not working. And so based on that, we know what is actually going to generate responses. And if, for example, if we're getting 20 to 25 response rate, that is really high. And then we also get 4 to 10% booking rate. And this actually drives the number to 100 appointments a week for normal business. And you can calculate on a 50% average like that. That's the 20 clients, 20 to 30 clients that we get on a monthly basis for each client. And so that now depends on ticket size, which is also a variable. Also talking about the variables here is really important. So the content scaling system is essential. And I'll talk about the content scaling. If, for example, you're really interested, just let me know in the comment. I will create a new video on the content scaling system, how that works and how you can automate most of the processes to actually generate more attention and more revenue. And so we also have a variable, which is social proof. And so the number of social proof you have directly affect your revenue and the traffic that is being sent to your lead magnets. And then we have messaging, like how are you structuring your messaging? Messaging is a broad concept. It includes offers. It also includes the emails that you're sending and a lot of other stuff. And people just take it literally. They just go out and just prepare a random copy and then they send it to people, which is really bad. They don't understand psychology. Then they complain that we have the volume, but things are not working. They're not getting the open rate that they need to get, and they're not getting the clicks and all of other stuff. But volume and messaging really goes hands in hand. And if one is not properly set up or not working, other won't give you the result. So you need volume and also you need proper brainless messaging for a client. And then you have copies and creatives in terms of if you're running ads, and also the offer needs to be a completely brainless, which the Alexa will call a brainless, a grand slam offer, right? So this is a flow of how things work. So in the top of funnel, you have content. Or if you're selling any product, you should be in the content business in this era. This is a new currency. Personal brand is really important. If you don't have a YouTube channel or you're not posting content, this is the time to start. And I won't stress that on it because that is actually the source of attention and also the source of money. And you have seen all these people in our industry, people like Hormozi, Iman Ghazi, why they're heavy on content, because they understand the value of eyeballs and how they convert. So I hope you liked this flow, you like the concept. And if you think that this was helpful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video. Also let me know in the comment what other problems you're facing, so I make videos on that. That really actually helps me. I really want to find out your problems and make content based on that. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.